What's up, everybody? It is me, the underconfident human. How are ya? So, I did a little shopping today for something that I've been eyeballing for months. A real classic. Something that's kind of expensive, but anybody that knew me, especially in high school, younger years, personally, knows I'm someone that should have this. I bought something awesome. Does my shirt give you a clue? Any guess? I've loved these dudes ever since the 90s, and let's get into it. This deluxe boxed 4-record set. This was at a time when hip-hop was real. These dudes had such complexity and lyric in their lyricism, such style, all of them. If you're wondering, my favorite members of the Wu-Tang clan has always been number 1, Jizza Genius. Liquid Swords is one of the finest albums I have, definitely in my top 10 most essential hip-hop albums of all time, Liquid Swords. Secondly, RZA, because he's both an incredible lyricist and an amazing producer. 3, U-God. I appreciate U-God's awesome lyricism as well. And then, of course, you gotta love the kind of funny antics and stuff of my man, Old Dirty Bastard, ODB, rest in peace. The Ace song, unique. He was so many different things. This ODB was, real serious in the studio about it. Is recording some of the stories that you got, and some of them have told in interviews over the years. Like, he took hip-hop very seriously, but also liked to be crazy. Like, that was just his gig. And everyone else, man, Raekwon and you got, like, Method Man, I love all of them cats. Ghostface. But, yeah, I'd say Jizza, RZA, and You Got are my personal, like, top, 3 favorites from the clan. But, yep. Where the direction hip-hop is taken nowadays, any of these guys will put them to shame, man. And anyways, this thing is an expensive deluxe box set. 4 records, I think, are in this re-release of one of the Wu-Tang Clan's most legendary records. So decided before I crack this thing open, I was gonna fire up the camera and the mic and make a video and take a look at it. This whole album was so dope. All of it. Just all of it. My particular history, I really probably could make a video sometime about my history with hip-hop, because I have been a total hip-hop head since I was just a little child. I was I was, 4 years old and able to recite the entire Jam on It by Nucleus. That's just one of my little pride points that my mom didn't let me forget about. Obsessive about music even then, but, I was really influenced personally growing up from all sorts of people. I mean, at the youngest ages, around 4 and 5 years old, the powerful voices of like Curtis Blow and Kool Moe Dee. Kool Moe Dee, for example, impacted me pretty well because he could switch from just that lyrical braggadocio stuff that they were doing to social and political consciousness and politics, and he could go back and forth and sometimes just go off on street level stuff. But I'm talking really young, and I was already into those guys. When I got just a little bit older, Boogie Down Productions and KRS-One and Public Enemy, Third Base, and these guys with more advanced lyrical content, and just it attracted my mind. I was far too young when I first discovered BDP and Public Enemy and stuff to thoroughly understand all of those lyrics, but that's just what always attracted me. I was never into the thugs and the gangsters and all that. That's, some of them are just, there's the studio fake guys that's trying to sound hard, and then there's the dudes that actually did the dirt and are telling their stories and all that. That whole element of hip hop never really appealed to me. I like the more lyrical and thought out guys, and then some of the fun stuff too. Some of the stuff you listen to, some of the stuff that's fun, not so serious. So a little of both. But Wu-Tang Clan, I can't remember exactly when I first heard their first album, Enter the Wu-Tang. I think that came out in the early 90s, but I'd probably heard that in middle school, I think. That was just an album that hit really hard for me. And, I remember slightly being intimidated a bit by some of it at first. When I was first introduced to Wu-Tang, I just vaguely remember, I think I heard the song Cream. And I was like, I think I was intimidated because it was like gangster rap, and that whole thing wasn't my style. But that was a very brief thing, because that whole tape, I used to play the shit out of that cassette. Enter the Wu-Tang was a big one for me, let alone years later when this came out, which was released on 2 CDs. It was a double CD set, and I kept them both in my car in high school. I know that. That's some fond memories too, man. The tons of CDs I used to keep in frequent rotation in my first car. But anyways, enough of my old guy babbling. Let's get into this. We'll see what all they presented for this big deluxe, gorgeous re-release. Man, look how thick the box is. Can y'all see that? It's an outer box, and the records are inside of it. This is like the next level of sleeve. This thing's serious. Between how excited I was to finally buy this after eyeballing it for a while at the record shop, how much I love the Wu-Tang Clan, and just how impressive this thing is, I felt that it honestly deserved its own video on my channel. So let's crack this monster open. This is not a gatefold, so I'm probably going to leave the shrink wrap on it. Let's look at this first. About that. tempted to frame this and put it up on the wall somewhere. Yep, I might very well stick this in a frame. This is just dope. I love it. I absolutely love this. One more look at the other side. Got the track list and credits. A lot of thank yous and just all the info. Man, 4 records. Oh man, these are super heavy. I love that. And a digital download card, which I will gift this to somebody. Maybe I could rack up some views or something and do a giveaway and show off this code and see who gets it first. I don't know. It's got a code for an MP3 download of the album, but I already have I've had these CDs for ages, and they're already ripped to my library in excellent quality. But it's a nice thought, nice of them to do that, you know. It has been a little while since last I've listened to this album, like these CDs all the way through. I would say I know the words to still know the words to at least 90% of this. There's a few of them I'm not 100%. It's been a long time, but there's handfuls of these I used to play over and over and over. So, you know. So that's it. The sleeve, and then these black sleeves that these are in, they have a line of poly, and oh my god, are they heavy. I've always said, I kind of prefer to use my own sleeves because I know those sleeves are super thick and good poly, but like, I've always appreciated when record pressing houses for these labels, do their sleeves like this, where it's just a normal shape, square, it's paper, but they lined it with poly, so it's to prevent, the acid from leaking out. This has to be 180 gram press, all 4 of these, because it's meaty. Y'all can see all 4 of these records seem to go back and forth between the sides, where it's got a black background and a silver Wu-Tang W, and then the opposite side reverses the colors to a silver background and a black W. I love this. Love it. Love every bit of this. I do this every video, right? Forgive the redundancy, but I have to have my particular triple line poly sleeves. But hey, that is an opportunity for a little extra crinkle noise, right? And some of that pleasant tapping. check it out. If you were to go back into my videos a bit and my record crate tours I did at the time, my hip hop crate, I think I don't remember exactly how I did the video, but like I know I talked a bit about the Liquid Swords album. That is most essential. Wu-Tang Forever. Wu-Tang is forever, but Wu-Tang Forever is an essential record as well. I mean, the production quality by the RZA is just so superior compared to like how they're doing hip hop now, so loopy and basic. Of course, it's a lot more difficult for them to sample and rework sounds like that nowadays. But regardless, yeah, it's just I think a very essential piece of hip hop history. Second level of the foundation, you know what I mean? I love this album a lot, so this is just really exciting for me. One. Two. 3. 4. I think in terms of thinking through my collection, in terms of size, I think this is the biggest release I own at 4 records deep and one for one album. I think. Yeah, most of them are single, double, and I think I might have a 3 record. I don't know. Anyway, did I already address this? Why? Why would I put them in my own sleeves when these sleeves already have a poly lining in them? Because mine's thicker. And because I'm weird. Because maybe not everything I do is logical or makes sense. But man, can you see that? Sucker's thick, heavy. Is this worth pointing out? One thing that's super unique about the Wu-Tang Clan, especially in the modern climate, is that other than the fact that it is a big group instead of just an individual, it's like the Wu-Tang Clan, when you take one of their albums and listen to it, has a little something for everybody. I mean, you want some silly, crazy, off-the-wall shit, then you get an old Dirty Bastard track. You want something a little more complex and lyrical, you got RZA and Jizza, you got, and you want something a little more street, a little more hardcore, you got Ghostface and Raekwon, and then, a little bit of everything, all angles from Method Man, the stoner. Inspectah Deck is another beast on the mic. But, like you want kind of street and hardcore, you got that. You want something fun and silly and just dope, you got that. You want complex and lyrical and thought out, you got that. I don't know. Wu-Tang has got a little bit of everything depending on what you're going for. And that alone deserves a great amount of respect in my opinion, because that is flexibility, that is talent, that is Just, that is hip hop. I've seen the Wu-Tang Clan a few times in concert over the years, for sure. The last show I saw, in fact, that was 2018 or 19. I got the tour shirt hanging in my closet. But anyway, it's cool to me that to this day, when they're doing a concert, like, they got Old Dirty Bastard's son coming out filling his role, and I mean, he looks just like a young ODB, and man, does he sound like him. Like, seeing Wu-Tang live is awesome, and they put on a proper show. But yeah, ODB's son is awesome. He fills the role well, and then keeping it hip hop. RZA will still, he'll be in the middle of a set and just be like, wait, cut this shit, stop, and go into a little talk about how hip-hop started in the parks with the DJs, and how the DJ is the core element of hip-hop. And then everyone steps off, and DJ a la Mathematics, Wu-Tang's, DJ, gets his chance to just break it up and shine. I mean, he gets up there and gets loose. The very last show I saw, my man was doing his thing on the decks, and then he was spinning a sample, and the dude was like, kick off your shoes, and he kept spinning that back and forth, and then he actually kicked off his shoes, got up on top, like above his decks and all that, and was going with his feet and keeping his hands, like, and then he got down at the thing with his head, like, it was sweet. It was sweet. And that's only just been a few years ago, that particular show. Like, I love that even in this day and age, they pay respect to the real hip-hop culture, the core elements of hip-hop culture, and in particular the DJ element. They still cut the show and step off and let them go. Like, that's awesome. I don't think a DJ in the modern day even serves the same purpose, or is looked at the same, or even means remotely the same thing now in hip-hop as it did in the old school, when hip-hop was hip-hop type of thing. Like, core elements and all that don't matter. And that's a shame. To bet money that most of these cats out right now don't even have a DJ. Couldn't care less. Oh, sorry. I was so busy gabbing on, I forgot to let y'all take a look. Yeah, this is so pretty. Super heavy, and just the grooves are even pretty. Like, ask you again. I don't know where I'm at on the camera because I can't see myself. I don't have a monitor or a way to hook that up. But if you can see how thick this vinyl is, it's meaty. I love the way these sleeves, other than the fact it zaps static and keeps it does not, affect the surface the way paper can. This just adds a certain thickness to the whole package. It's great. know it has to do with sound quality or the speed at which they cut the grooves in these records. But, like, these grooves are wide and just, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe not the right word. They're pretty, but very visible. And, like, there's only 2 songs on this side of the record. Just 2 songs. Wu Revolution at 6:17 and the classic, gorgeous Reunited 5 minutes 23 seconds. That's it. And I know they can fit a lot more on the side of a record when they cut records, right? So I don't know if it is the way they cut it for sound quality purposes or maybe just for DJ purposes. If the DJ is on actual vinyl, I suppose how you control the music when you're spinning records might be affected by something like this. Anyway. And the last one. So to me, this is awesome. This is exciting. To someone that doesn't really know this particular album or know this music, you're just looking at like, oh, okay, there's 4 records in there and that one sheet. What's the big deal? Well, I suppose if you have to ask, you'll never know. I personally think this set is worth every penny, and it's gorgeous and well put together. Since this is a re-release and a repressing, I didn't see anything on there, but I didn't really read the credits. This might be digitally remastered and all that jazz. I don't know. I'm not going to know if they changed the sound quality, I should say, until I actually get a chance to clean these and drop a needle on it. But one more look, huh? welcome to my collection. This is another pieces of vinyl, I should say, that I am thrilled to have in my collection. Oh, you know what? Looking at this sheet just reminded me I talked about everybody on here except Master Killa. So, Master Killa, he's probably, I don't have a least favorite member of the Wu-Tang Clan in the sense of, like, I love every one of these cats. Master Killa is one that just, he doesn't spring to mind as quickly for me as Jizza and RZA, for example, but you'll have that. But I do remember when I was a junior in high school, or sophomore in high school, Public Enemy put out He Got Game. Spike Lee made the movie, and then the album, the CD album, which was kind of considered the soundtrack, is no soundtrack in the sense that, like, it's a Public Enemy album. All new songs, all Public Enemy. He Got Game. I remember kind of getting flipped when that first came out, and I saw that Master Killa was on a track with them. I was like, I would love to have seen more collabos between Wu-Tang Clan members and Chuck D of Public Enemy. Like, I really to this day swear up and down that Jizza or RZA or You Got, any of these cats really, but especially them, a Wu-Tang Public Enemy collaboration, that would have been completely awesome. But yeah, Master Killa dropped a verse on Resurrection, which is the first cut on the He Got Game album. So that was, I guess that's my high point for him in particular. We have an APB on an MC Killa. Looks like the work of a master. I guess when I look at the cover of this too, like, first thing that jumps to mind is Triumph. I bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define it while I'm dropping these mockeries. Lyrically perform armed robberies, fleeing from the lottery. Possibly they spotted me at battle scars, shot on the Trojan for my good hits, tremendous. Ultraviolet Marshline forensics. I expect you through the future see millennium, killer beast, soul 50 gold, 60 platinum, shackling the masses with drastic rap tactics. Graphic display make this melt the steel like blacksmith. I still remember all that. The music video for Triumph was funny back when it was dope, but like the early 90s like CG with all the killer bees swarm over the city. Man, this thing, I just can't get over how heavy this package is as a whole. Love it. So there this monster box set is. Alrighty. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, the plastic sleeve that it came in has both the price tag and has this gunk on the back, the glue from the tape, and that ain't going in my crates. But will one of my regular sleeves fit this big ass box? Does it even really need it is probably a better question. And the answer, yes, of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. Man, oh man, this thing's heavy. Jeez. It does fit in there. How about that? This is an ASMR channel, right? Let's get that crinkle on. Go. It's not 4 records, but the only other box set in my whole record library that's anything this size, I mean, they put it in an extra big box, is Rammstein's first album. It's in a box very similar to this, and then the gatefold sleeve thing actually slides out of it. It's got a book and all that stuff in it, but yeah, this thing's really a monster. Alrighty, so as always, thank you very much for hanging out with me, the underconfident human. I appreciate the company. Oh, speaking of which, I guess it would be the appropriate time to show it. Y'all see that? I can't see myself, like I said, but of course Wu-Tang is on my battle jacket. Of course. What would you expect? Yo. Anyway, again, thanks for hanging out. This is the Underconfident Human. I'll see you. Wu-Tang is forever.